Ladies and gentlemen, members and friends, my name's Matt Bailey. I'm the National Ambassador for the Scotch Malt Whisky Society here in Australia, and I'm super excited to be standing outside Distillery 148, or also known as Starward Distillery here in Melbourne at 50 Birdie Street, Port Melbourne. This is their new site. They've been here for about 5 years, and we're going to go for a walk through the distillery, see some parts you may not have seen before, and have a chat with some of the team members about what's happening here. This is an inside look at this distillery not before seen, and so let's go for a bit of a walk, let's have a bit of a chat and see where we end up. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with two members from Downstream team from Starward Distillery. These two people actually put the product together, and so you can enjoy what's in your glass. Jared and Carly, thank you so much for being on the Society stream with us.
Nice to be here.
And it's going to be so exciting to have you on stream. So we're going to go for a bit of a walk, have a look at what's going on behind the scenes here at the distillery before we sit down and have a drink afterwards. So let's do it. Jared, Carly, we're up here at the stills. Can you tell me what we're looking at? These are the new stills that have gone in at Starward?
Brand new stills, yeah. So, well, not new anymore. About 18 months ago, we did an upgrade here at the distillery. So what we have right behind us is a brand new wash still, all the way from Friuli in Italy. It's a 7,500 litre wash still,
yep,
which then feeds into a 3,300 litre spirit still. So basically, when the lockdown started, was at the same time we was doing this upgrade. Pulled the whole production floor out.
Yep.
Built it back up again, just to increase capacity so we could make more whiskey.
Yep. And you guys aren't distillers as such. You work in Downstream, so that's sort of end product, and that's sort of down here.
Yeah. So that's down there.
We'll come to that. And we've got, what do we have here? These are the fermenters behind here.
So you can see at the back against the wall, we've got a 20,000 litre fermentation vessels, and then all the way across to our mash tun at the far end.
Yep.
Which we've got and our two brewers and distillers hanging out in the corner over there, making new make spirit.
You can forgive us if we're sweating a bit. It is 7 degrees hotter up here than it is downstairs, and the distillers are hard at work, and we have to stay behind this line here. But I really appreciate you showing us up here, and this is the newish stills, 18 months though.
Yeah.
And you've got some cask storage up here as well.
Yep. So this is just kind of one of an extension of our entertainment function area.
Yep.
So you can go down, order drinks at the bar, then come up here, and basically watch everything get made, see all the brews happening, see all the distillation runs happening. It's a really cool spot. But yeah,
so on a hot summer's day,
on days like this, it's about 5 to 7 degrees warmer up here than what it is downstairs. So it gets a bit sweaty.
The cocktails will be flowing. Yeah, indeed. All right, well, we'll head back downstairs and have a look what else is happening in the new setup. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
We're back downstairs here from the stills. The temperature has dropped. We're all feeling a little bit better now. It is very warm up there. And we're down at the Downstream area of the distillery where we're surrounded by casks and there's shiny new equipment behind me. Carly, I wanted to start by asking, what is Downstream? What does that even mean?
So Downstream means everything after the new make spirit has been made. So then we take it and we cut it back with water to about 55% and then fill it into casks.
And you've been filling at 55% for some time now?
Yeah.
Yep, so pretty much real early days of Starward, we filled a bit higher, about 63.5, kind of the industry standard. But we found it was the extraction was a bit too harsh from the barrels in our climate here in Melbourne, so dropped that to 55%, get a much nicer extraction from the barrels, and really kind of creates the flavour profile that we like and what consumers see as Starward and today.
And what does it mean to work in Downstream?
So for our job, we lay the barrels down to rest for a year and a half, and then we will do the first pass sensory, and this is where we're looking for maturity and also if there's any faults. Because we age in predominantly red wine casks, we're going to come across a lot of volatile barrels, sulfur, which we're seeing less of because our barrel management is really, really good at the moment, and we make sure our barrels are clean and good to fill. And that means that our job's a lot easier when we come and we taste the whiskey. We can just say, yep, and we'll put it away for a year and a half till it's 3 years old, and then we'll look at it for bottling.
So at minimum 3 years old?
Minimum 3 years old.
Yep. And part of your role is to, I guess, use sensory analysis to work out the kinks, work out what blends well, what works well. And is that something that happens on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis for each cask, or?
Almost every day we're tasting whiskey. So whether it's for our core range products or whether it's for special projects or SMWS releases, we're always tasting through barrels to work out what's going to go into a blend or what we're going to kind of do with that whiskey into the future. So yeah, it's pretty labour intensive for Carly, myself, and Brad, who's the other blender here at Starward.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, like that's what we're doing. We really want to kind of produce the best whiskey possible.
And what's behind us? This is all new since I was here last.
So when you were here last a few months ago, none of this would have been here. So in the last probably 6 to 8 weeks, we had an upgrade in the downstream area, similar to upstream where we were before. Basically, we were running out of room. We were running out of capacity here, so we decided we needed some more tanks, some more equipment, and about 8 weeks ago we ripped everything out, put it back in, built it up, new fancy, shiny new toys for us to play with. So basically, the idea with this was increase capacity, so we can take more whiskey from barrel and get it ready for bottling. So it's been a fun time, fun couple of months, but. Later this week, it'll all be signed off and we'll be good to go, ready to use it.
Fantastic. I feel like we're seeing a preview of things to come here. This is all very exciting.
Absolutely.
Lots of shiny new gear. Yeah. Well, shall we have a look? Can we run through some casks and
absolutely?
And can I pinch some spirit out and have a taste? That'd be lovely.
Yeah, sounds great.
Let's do it. All right. Pinch some whiskey out of a cask. It's almost like my duty.
Yeah.
So, Jared, do you want to? What have we got here?
So you've come at a really good time because Carly and I, the last few days, have been putting together Starward Solera, so the Apera aged whiskey that we do.
Yep.
We don't do this very often, so perfect timing.
Yeah, great.
What we have in front of us is some second fill Apera casks. What we're looking for this is really a kind of tropical, juicy spirit. The focus is on that spirit forward malt character rather than the cask influence. So.
And how long has Starward been filling into second fills?
With the Apera stock, pretty much from
day one.
From the early days when we started seeing the first fill come through.
Yep.
We fill all of our Apera casks for a second time.
Yep.
We get some fantastic whiskey out of it.
Have you tried any third fills?
Not yet.
Not yet.
There's some maturing away, but not of age yet.
You heard it here first. All right, let's give it a try. Let's give this. This is a refill, as you said, and this one's coming to is on the block, ready to go.
Yep.
Yeah. So this one's nearly 4 years old.
What kind of glass is this?
This is a whiskey glass. It's a tulip shaped.
Yeah, it's like an oversized like Glencairn almost. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple months ago, Jared and I tried our whiskey in a bunch of glasses, and we decided that our whiskey is not the best in this.
Yeah. It's very tropical, isn't it?
Very tropical.
That's fantastic.
You really get that Starward house style.
Yeah.
Tropical fruit, yellow peach, ripe bananas.
I was going to say the banana note has been I guess I reckon we'd say slowly disappearing. In some ways, the banana note's been less and less in Starward, but the tropical fruits and mango and papaya and stuff has been coming in more and more.
Yeah, and I think that's probably to do with the upgrade in stills. As we kind of get bigger, we see more of that tropical character come through compared to the older, smaller stills, where we had much more of that banana character. I think it's much more balanced now. I really like this style that comes out. It's
lovely.
Super fresh, really fruity. And being the second fill cask as well, you get less of that.
So second fill 4.5-year-old.
Second fill 4.5, yep.
That's fantastic.
Delicious.
Well, cheers.
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 Good to see you.
Too.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So we might start trialing higher ABVs in second fill casks.
Yep.
Just because the oak's pretty tired from the first fill, we might get a bit more oak extraction and cask influence if we bump up the ABV. So,
well, that one's certainly got a bit of power to it on the proof.
Yeah. So we do, given our climate here in Melbourne, we get lots of fluctuation and it's quite warm during the summer. So we see it generally an increase of 1% ABV per year.
Yep.
So we're going at 55, so 4 years later, could be sitting around
60 something.
that low, like high 50s, low 60s, with a smaller format cask as well. Wouldn't be surprised if this is low 60s.
The low 60s, yeah. This is definitely a small cask. You guys are filling into all sorts of sizes though.
Yeah, all different sizes.
I can see some rather big ones over here as well.
Predominantly 2 25-litre barriques and 300-litre hogsheads. All our small format casks now is kind of left over from the early days, but we're not filling any new casks with a small format.
Those are hundreds, aren't they? 50, sorry, they're 50s.
Little babies.
Little ones, even littler. There's the hundreds.
Sherry casks are becoming harder and harder to source because not many Australians are drinking Apera.
Yep.
So yeah, we're trying to hold on to these original small ones and use them as much as we can because they are sort of like the backbone to the Solera blend. It's got a lot of like a long finish and drawn out flavour.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Much more stereotypically Starward, that one. If that makes sense, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and we love the whiskey that comes out of these barrels.
Yep.
These are the kind of the OG Apera barrels that had Apera in them for 20, 30, 40 years. So they got so much flavour and so much to give. It's really sad when we say goodbye to them at the end of their life.
But we get to enjoy the spirit from them, so that's important.
Yep, absolutely.
And you're storing a lot of the casks here behind us.
Yep. So you can see we've still got a lot of barrels here. But a few years ago we had opened up our second warehouse, basically just for barrel storage and barrel maturation. So it's about a 15-minute drive from here. Yep. Where all we do there is fill barrels and mature them. So it's just a barrel storage facility. Yep. Obviously we ran out of room here, so we had to go off site. Yeah. So we've got another team over at that warehouse as well that fill barrels and monitor the barrels out there. So
very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Awesome. Carly, what have we got here?
So this is also Apera. It's first fill Hogshead.
Okay, you go. Yeah, you go.
Yes, first.
I was being polite.
Very rude of me.
And that's this is obviously a much larger format cask.
Yes, so this is 300 litres.
Yep.
With our bigger formats, they tend to take longer to mature because of the surface area. But you do also get a good balance of spirit characteristics and oak extraction.
That's totally different, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you notice being a first fill cask, you get much more of that Apera influence? Lots of those dried fruit, raisiny.
It's so much more savoury. So much more savoury than that 50 litre.
A bit more tannin as well from the barrel that kind of creates a bit of structure on the back palate, but
even slightly biscuity on the nose, like those Dutch spiced biscuits.
Yeah. Delicious.
Wow.
Absolutely
That's
delicious.
Lovely. That is lovely.
So the Starward Solera, which is all aged in 100% Apera barrels, is certainly one of our favourites to put together because when we go through the tasting and we're trying through all these barrels, this is what we get to try.
Yeah.
20, 30, 40 of them. So
at a time.
We're not complaining.
No. The perks of Downstream. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, with our other blends like Nova and Twofold, we basically have a pretty down-packed recipe and they're a lot easier to make than Solera because of the availability of casks as well. So it's quite a skill in blending to make sure that we're using a lot of our first fills in balance with our second fills and our other seasoned casks that haven't had Apera in them for so long.
Yep. Very nice, very nice.
Delicious.
Yeah. I'll take this one, thanks.
Yeah. No worries.
Yeah, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been through a walk of the distillery. We've had a chat with Downstream. We're tasting a few casks, and now we're here to have a taste of why we're really here. 148.2, which Jared has here. He has a little bit left in that bottle. for us to share around and have a taste of. This is, of course, following off 148.1, which was very successful for us last year. We're very excited to have 148.2 Kirsch Me Quick available shortly if you're watching this video. We are filming obviously a little bit earlier than when it's being released, but let's have a taste of 148.2. Jared, would you like to do the honours?
Yes, please.
Kirsch Me Quick, go for it. So we'll have a little bit of a taste of this.
I like the name.
Yeah, I like the names on both of them. Apera for everyone feels like something you'd share with everyone, and Kirsch Me Quick is something a bit of fun that the panel came up with there. So this is in our spicy and sweet flavour profile. It is a 3-year-old, and it is from a first fill ex-red wine cask.
Perfect. Yeah.
Sanjava, good to see you. Thank you. I would say this one is much more typically Starward. Does that make sense? Rather than the .1?
Yeah.
In some ways?
I think it's much more modern Starward. There's a lot of really nice balance between the wine influence, the cask influence, and then also the spirit.
I get immediately like a bit of milk chocolate on the nose though on that one.
Yeah.
Like Milka sort of chocolate. That sort of purple, is that purple bar of chocolate? Is that called Milka? I can't remember that. You know that
Milka,
Danish chocolate or something?
Yeah. I love the it's really kind of like a ripe tropical fruit, ripe peach maybe. But I remember the first time we came across this barrel, we were doing a blend for Nova, getting all our barrels lined up and tasting through them, and then this one just stood out. It was just so different in the set of barrels because they were all filled at the same time. These red wine barrels, same ages, same winery that they came from, but this just tasted so different to the rest. So we decided we'll keep this one aside, leave it a bit longer, see what happens. And then I remember a long time ago when we were talking about this, picking samples for the SMWS. This one sprang to mind because it was still Starward, but it was quite left of centre of what Starward is.
Yeah.
So I thought that's the perfect whiskey to have as part of the SMWS collection.
We're really happy that we were able to pick this cask out, and actually the ability for us to go through the warehouse and pick out casks with you was a really important process for us in terms of this, and being able to say, you know what, these are two very different casks to start with, but still both represent the distillery character, but also it's our own spin on things, which is what was important to us as well for our members. I think it's very aptly in the spicy and sweet flavour profile, this one.
Yeah, fits in there nicely.
It's got that. I'd agree that the deep, rich and dried fruits picked the first one out really well, but this, and being also probably one of the oldest Starwards ever bottled, that first one was a 7-year-old single cask, first fill Apera, and this one we've gone for Apera and then to red wine in this case.
Yeah, so I think it's great. The first two releases being quite a contrast as well, and especially if someone is like a new Starward drinker, I think it's a good example of the richer Apera style of whiskey, but then also the lighter, spicier style of the wine cask. So I think it's a good comparison to have for the .1 and then to the .2.
Carly, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I really like it. I think, as Jared said, it's really well balanced between red fruits from the wine cask and then the oak influence as well.
Yeah.
Kind of American. There's a bit of toastiness in there too. And the finish is just really beautiful and elongated.
Just perfect ABV as well, I think.
What did we reach on this? 55.5, yeah. So the needle's only moved slightly from the fill strength, but it's really held that balance nicely at that mid-50s proof that I love a whiskey at as well.
Yep.
I sometimes find some whiskies, as I've said before on stream, those high 60, low 70s sort of ones, a little bit hard to drink. I find them a little bit sort of often too much, but that mid-50s is that sort of lovely sweet spot.
Yeah.
I think it hits it really nicely.
Even on a warm day like this,
it is very warm here today, by the way. Very warm here today.
Great. It's still,
Sometimes when alcohol's too high, I feel like it blankets the nose.
Yeah,
and
right.
You can't really get any aromas, and then
and all you can get is the ethanol.
Yeah. Like, this is great.
Yeah, drinking really well. It's good to see this again. I haven't tried this since bottling day.
Yeah.
So earlier in the year when we bottled this was the last time I tried it. So it's really nice to see it again. And
I always like making sure that we try it from the bottle though as well, because there is that, that romance of trying something straight from a cask, as we just did. is that sort of like, oh, it tastes amazing, but as soon as you've got to taste it in bottle, it's like, well, that's the proof is in the pudding. That's the exact of what the product should taste like, and that's, I think, really important for us. We are shooting this right now in December, which means that it's Christmas time, which means that I've invited Carly and Jared to please pick out an Advent sample of their choosing. Carly, you get to go first.
Oh.
So you get to pick a number. What are we up to today? I mean, it doesn't matter. You can pick any number you like. It's part of the fun of the Advent calendar.
Yeah, I don't even know what date it is.
It's sometime in December. That's all that matters.
I'm gonna go the 18th.
You go 18 then. Okay, let's see what's behind 18. And
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Society Cask number 3321. 16 years. Second fill ex-bourbon barrel Isla.
a 3.321.
Brilliant.
Very cool. Treat yourself. A 16-year-old Isla whiskey from Distillery 3. That's very cool. Kind of envious that you picked that one. Kind of envious. That's good though. That's good. Jared, it's your pick.
Well, I'm going to go right to the end.
Oh, you're going to go 31. It could be the 31st today. I don't know anymore.
25.
Sorry, 25. 25, of course.
I might open this on Christmas Day as well. Have a nice little
There you go.
breakfast dram.
What do you got?
Oranges and well danced upon oak. It's interesting.
What cask number do we have?
1.238.
Where it all started, Distillery 1.
Perfect 7-year-old first fill XPX Hogshead. So that's pretty cool.
A sherry cask from Distillery 1, very cool, and a lightly peated 16-year-old from Distillery 3.
Brilliant.
Nicely picked, nicely picked.
Thank you, Matt.
That's all right, that's all right. It's about sharing at Christmas, and our Advent calendar does that. Carly, Jared, thank you so much for your time today. I won't take up any more of it. I'm really excited to release 148.2 for members. Kirsch Me Quick, it's called. It's going to be, I think, in February outturn if you're watching this. And if not, just keep an eye on our socials, keep an eye on your email. And if you're not a member of the society, check out smws.com.au. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for the
Pleasure.
cheeky cask samples and taking us through the distillery.
Yeah, it's
Anytime.
been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Cheers.